What's up, everybody? LUI right here. Salute you wherever you are. It is 7:20 in the AM, but it is the summertime, so it's like 6:20 AM compared to last week. I had to wake up to eat my first meal of the day. I gotta go back to my regular schedule. Summer is coming, and that will basically bring usually my proper weight. Anyway, that's that. As you guys know, the latest talk around bodybuilding is that major splash made by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself in his event, the Arnold Classic, where he called out actually the current system. He was really harsh. He said he denounced actually the bottle-shaped bodybuilders, as we spoke about. He regrets the disappearance of the V-taper era, actually, replaced by those bottle-shaped pregnant bodybuilders with a basically protruding gut, right? And there are legions. You cannot even count them. Unfortunately, they are the majority. As I said, there are two currents, the aesthetics versus the freaks. But the ranks of the freaks are ever so bigger. There are legions. You cannot even count them. They are definitely the majority, right? So what's now? What's gonna happen? I watched several videos. I watched that of Lee Haney, which was made actually in the Arnold Classic aftermath. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. He was interviewed by Bob Chick, and he brought upstage alongside him Cedric McMillan, the guy basically behind this controversy, so to speak, the one who forces the debate, the one that was mentioned by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. So he brought him upstage with him, and he spoke actually. And by the way, that video, if you did not watch it, I'll put the link of it in my description box. Go ahead and watch it. It is on my Facebook page. It is quite eloquent. Of course, they repeated they had to take notice because Arnold spoke. Who is bigger than Arnold? Not only in today's bodybuilding, but in bodybuilding, period, right? In this venue, I do agree with Mr. Jerry Ward from BioWest 3. I saw his video yesterday. He said that Arnold is indeed bigger than Joe Weider. He said, bro, I'm gonna get dinked for that. No, you're not gonna get dinked for that, bro. You're damn right. Arnold is bigger than Joe and Ben Weider. There's absolutely not about it. He's bigger than all the Mr. Olympias put together. He's the most charismatic figure. He brought bodybuilding into mainstream. Hell, even Joe Weider saw that. That's why Arnold retired in 1975. If you go ahead and watch, that is a documentary follow-up of Pumping Iron, which was made, I think, in 1977. I'm talking about the follow-up, where you will see and you will hear Arnold being a promoter for bodybuilding, right? He was working as a promoter after that. As a matter of fact, when he came back in 1980, it was on the request of Joe Weider, bro, come back to give us back some of your aura, right? And he came back. Well, admittedly, he was not the best shape, of his life, even though he won versus a controversial Boyer Co. That's debatable, but that's not the question. Arnold is Arnold. He was retired. He could have won definitely more Mr. Olympias if he stayed sharp. He was still young, but that's that. The dude is the biggest bodybuilder ever, biggest action hero. The only dude who went into politics and came back as a still big number one actually action hero, right? Some guys disappeared from this feed. Look at Van Damme, he's no longer there. Look at I don't know. Even Sly is not as big as Arnold. But that's that. So when Arnold speaks, he shakes the IFBB. He's bigger than Jim Mannion. You guys know who's Jim Mannion. Probably never heard of him if we did not mention him, right? But Jim Mannion actually, he has like a godly function also in this organization. If he hates you, you will not even attend an IFBB event. I'm talking about, for example, Palombo, he was supposedly basically not being liked by Jim Mannion, and he never got his IFBB card, and he does not even attend the event nowadays, right? And that's that. But right now, what's gonna happen, guys? What's gonna happen? That is the Arnold Australia in, well, today actually. Today, yeah. Cedric, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I checked, he's gonna participate in it yet again. Although he posted a picture lately with his friend Sean Rodden, who also I do salute. He's my friend on Facebook. And he resembles ever so greatly Mr. Cedric McMillan. They're both the same age, and the proportions are somehow resembling, right? I put Sean Rodden into the aesthetic representing physiques, but these guys are, as I said, you can count them probably on one hand. Guys, if Sean Rodden and Cedric McMillan become the norm, we have to retire 90% of the IFBB right now. Think about it. Even though it is the morning, I'm not the most eloquent. You name them, I will retire them. Big Ramy, wow, he made a big splash. Wow, I grant you, he has a small waist. He's not, a pregnant bodybuilder. We've never seen him pregnant, but again, he is definitely the farthest thing from being aesthetic. Separations 0, legs are too big. Did he do some ground poses? I never saw that. Right, so these guys are gonna send. Branch Warren, of course, he's gonna retire tomorrow. What's his name? The newcomer. He has to trim some damn weight. Justin Compton is young, 26-year-old, and bro, I mean, you're on the wrong sport right now. I mean, you need to trim down. Even the reigning champion Dexter Jackson, bro, he's the biggest ever, if you guys don't know. As I said, right now he is in between, right? Because he is becoming an arm dominant monster. Personally, I've never seen him this big. He is basically following the steps of Vince Taylor. Vince Taylor, as you guys know, he competed in both eras of Lee Haney and the era of Dorian Yates. He was the most aesthetic guy in Lee Haney era. He was placed in third after Lee Labrada. So there was Lee Haney and then Lee Labrada, and third was Vince Taylor sometimes. But then when Dorian came, even though he was well in his 40s, he became a mass monster. One of the craziest arms ever, right? And Dexter is becoming that right now. But this is the reality of things, right? And let me tell you one thing I forgot to mention last time, because I was, we did not have time to address this. Now, if you go back and watch Mr. Olympia's, let's say, of the the mid 90s, and even in the early 2000s, right? When Ben and Joe Weider were still around. Usually you would see Ben Weider, who was, may God bless his soul, the president of the IFBB. He used to come, and discuss about the progress of bodybuilding, what's happening during that period and whatnot. And then he announces the name of the bodybuilder, and he would say, believe me, I saw them backstage and they are huge, they are big, right? And you would see the crowd, yeah. Thing is, he was addressing a niche, a club, a select club of fans. Now, these fans, if you guys went to these kind of expos, like the Arnold Expo or the Fit Expo, granted, most of them, it is like, the AIs, like the alcoholic anonymous of bodybuilding, in the sense of bigorexia. These guys actually prepare Some of them actually do circles actually, or cycles basically. Sorry, but cycles to prepare for let's say Mr. Olympia, or to look the biggest and the sharpest. And when they walk, the egos are inflated. You will see some virtual lads they try to walk bigger than life, right? So he was addressing that crowd because it was still a select niche, and it was not this exposed to youth. Back then, you know, most of the viewership were like 25 and older. Right now, we have a big crowd of young teenagers that are not. You will see naturals, a lot of naturals walking down the aisles from one booth to another. You will see a lot of unaware kids thinking that their hero or their idol is still natural, just taking that powder. That's it. So it is more mainstream in a sense, and there is internet. We can watch it everywhere. So it is a broader audience, and Arnold is mainstream. He can notice that. It is his chance to address and make bodybuilding even bigger, and he will succeed if he does it properly, where Ben Weider has failed. Oh my God bless his soul, Ben Weider tried actually to make bodybuilding even an Olympic sport. Of course it did not happen for obvious reasons, right? But the thing, the transition right now is not going to happen from one day to another. This is the message I'm trying to convey here. They cannot retire everybody. Branch Warren, stop. Ben Pakulski, Ben, I do salute you, bro. Now Ben is a Ben actually, Pakulski was my national Canadian, posted actually that video comments of Arnold Schwarzenegger on his page, on his Facebook page a few days ago. And as far as I know, he said he agrees with him, right? But Ben, with all due respect, right now I put you in the freak categories. I don't put you in the aesthetic categories. You are closer to a bigger version of Branch Warren than you are closer to Cedric. Let's be okay with all due respect, right? So what are you going to tell to Big Ben now? Big Ben, one of the biggest legs, if not the biggest legs in the circuits. What is he gonna do? He needs to trim his legs. Big Ramy, as I said, is like a version, an Egyptian version of Ronnie Coleman. Give him a 6-pack instead of a 4-pack, and he is flatter in the midsection. He has the same proportions pretty much, but he has no separation whatsoever. What are you gonna tell him? Big Ramy, remove freaking 30 pounds of muscle? Is that gonna happen anytime soon? No, right? As a matter of fact, there was a Mr. Olympia, not they did that. When was it, man? Damn, bro. I think it was in 2006. So it was like a round, basically. They added like a round into Mr. Olympia where ex-Mr. Olympias can judge the competitors, right? And I do remember that the big guys were favorited by Ronnie Coleman and Dorian Yates, because of course they were representing their eras. I mean, those are the big monsters, right? And Lee Haney and the rest, like Chris Dickerson and even Sergio Oliva, my God bless his soul, I think he was judging there. They gave most of the of the wins or the points actually to what's his name, Martinez, right? Victor Martinez. So there you have it, right? Talking about Ronnie Coleman and Dorian Yates, they are the two Mr. Olympias with most injuries. If you put them together, probably they have like 15 serious injuries, these guys, right? As a matter of fact, Dorian Yates was retired because of injuries. He retired in 1998 because of that, right? And Ronnie, needless to say, he did several operations and whatnot, and is still basically suffering from this until this day. But this is what's up now. It cannot happen like that. They're not going to give the crown of Mr. Olympia right away to Cedric. Unfortunately, he is not getting any younger. I think he's in his late 39. So unfortunately, they cannot retire everybody now because they don't have no competitor. I mean, who would you compare Cedric to, aside from Sean Rodden? Are you gonna bring back Sean Ray from retirement? Are you gonna bring back Melvin Anthony, Francis Benfato, freaking Bob Paris, you know, Ahmed Haidar? Who are you gonna bring back, man? I mean, the ranks are empty when it comes to aesthetics. Bro, there's that guy, I forgot his name. Well, he's not consistent, so I'm not gonna even mention his name. But I cannot even think of a dude that basically is still representing alongside these guys. You can count them probably on one hand. You know, top guys, Sean Rodden and Cedric McMillan. I mean, Cedric probably was not even in the Olympia last year. Was he even qualified? Probably not. I don't recall, man. So that's it, man. You gotta understand this. I mean, Phil Heath and Kai Green. Bring Kai Green in the 2012 version of himself. He was the slimmest and the most appealing. But that's that, guys. So I just came back to geek out. I mean, just to tell you that even though Arnold spoke up about this, the change of culture cannot happen drastically just like that. It will be a time-consuming process. It might take 5 years to do so, because right now the ranks are just empty unless they import bodybuilders from Europe, right? Where there basically the culture is still somehow more aesthetic than here, right? I mean, the IFBB ranks right now 90 to 95% are of the freaky area, freaky side, right? And they need to reset the whole mindset of the IFBB judges, because these guys followed the trend, as I said, of the late 90s. They had to follow the trend. Right now when they judge, they definitely favor the big guys. I do recall Chris Cormier, who was one of the last dudes rocking a solid, shamelessly a vacuum in the top Mr. Olympias. Right, dude is an Ironman winner, placed second like 4 times in the Arnold Classic. He was cursed. He was weighing 265 pounds, and he's not the tallest guy. Right, he's like 5'11", right, maximum 6. He was weighing 265 pounds, and when he used to ask the judges, why am I not winning, they told him you need to be bigger. I mean, he was diced to the socks at 265, and it was not enough for them. Right, go ahead and watch back the Olympia 1993, who started this era. You would see the commentator calling out the reigning Mr. O of that time. During it, he was saying, 257 pounds of muscle, the reigning Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates, right? Then it came bigger, and then 283 by who? By Nasser El Somebody. I think Ronnie competed once at more than 290 in 2003, right? So it started there, right? I mean, they were glorifying the bigger, the better. As I said, Ben was coming and was saying, bro, they're the biggest ever, I guarantee you. And the crowd was like, wow, big orexia 101. They're all addicted, man. Bring it. Bigger is better. That's what's up, guys. Salute you wherever you are. Tell me what you think about it. Don't forget to like the video. I'll be waiting for your comments.